Who is one of your favorite main characters who actually isn't the main character? I'll go first. Gyro Zeppeli.
Kid can't even read.
Just
Today, Junior?
Daddy, chill.
Gyro Zeppeli. And if you know, you know. And if you know, you know he's top 5 that are alive, and this discussion is over right here, period. I don't even got to say too much more. But since I'm on camera, I'm going to say very much a lot more than just that. Man, between his charisma, his on-stage presence, even though he's in a manga, his clothing, his grills, bro, since like the first time I seen this guy, I was like, wow, like this is the Jojo? Oh, he's not even the Jojo of the series. How can we have this much man in just one series? Come on. Hold on. I got carried on with myself. I kept talking so much about the character that I didn't properly introduce him. Gyro Zeppeli from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 7, Steel Ball Run, and continue on. Honestly, I'm amazed that Araki was able to write as good of as a character that's not the main character into this story. And, you know, that's hard to say because there's so many great things about this story, Steel Ball Run. I was really surprised the way Gyro turned out to be in the story, that Araki would include a character like this, and that it all ended out with everyone getting their just due. What I'm trying to say, everyone walks away from Steel Ball Run loving Funny Valentine, loving Johnny, loving Gyro, loving the whole cast of characters, really. And that's crazy because Gyro had such a head start as a better character in front of Johnny. Johnny was lackluster in the beginning of the story, and Gyro really held together and kept the story really interesting, while Johnny was trying to find, you know, his footing along the story. Gyro was holding it down the whole time. Johnny was yelling for help and needed help, and then Johnny's characterization caught up to Gyro, and then the duality that these two guys played off of each other was like pure amazing, like mozzarella. He did a lot of things for the story Steel Ball Run without actually pushing the narrative of doing those things, if that makes sense. Like, he was the tutor, he was the trainer for Johnny, but it was never outright like, hey, this is my position, I'm sensei, I'm the coach, listen to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't that. And he wasn't like, hey, I'm your absolute best bud here, like, we're best friends, I'm gonna listen to anything you say, Johnny, I got your back. Like, no, they went back and forth about a lot of things that they didn't agree upon. He wasn't always a smart, cool, and calm, collected character. A lot of times he was going off cursing people out, making stupid sounds and noises and puns and jokes and things like that. He was a lot of the time like the guy, like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know how we're gonna figure this out, but we're gonna figure this out. Where you would expect that type of character, the role he played, to be set in one type of personality trait, he was moving along in so many different categories. He was a spectrum of personality. Throughout the story, he didn't really push Johnny to think the way that he thought. Yes, they had dialogue and conversations back and forth about their points on certain things, but never did he say, hey, Johnny, this is the path I took, this is the path you have to take, and you have to be like this in order to get to the goal you want to get to. No. As I go, these are the lessons I need to teach you, and after these lessons, you need to learn these things for yourself. And that's what Gyro did for Johnny. Gave him things that he had to think about, articulate, not just hand him on a silver platter, say, hey, this is the technique you got to practice, and once you practice that, you got it, you're good, you're dandy. Nah, it was deeper than that. Gyro was deeper than just a funny character. Again, his personality was on a spectrum where it ranged from a different place. I really loved the duality between Johnny and Gyro, especially when it came to them arguing about whether they should kill certain characters over the limbs of the saint. And for a moment of clarity, honestly, please don't judge me. For the longest time in the beginning of the series, I wasn't even a fan of the spin, of the steel balls. I was like, can we get on to you having a stand, please? I was so fixated on how Araki used to write the series before Part 7 that I'm just like, okay, stand please, stand please, stand please. And when Gyro really never produced the stand, I sat back and I was like, oh, you know, like, I'm enjoying this. I was sitting and waiting for the longest time for Gyro to get a stand because I'm like, this is what it takes for me to like this character that much more. But when I learned how to like what he came into the story using and how he used it, every different way he used it, for all the different things he used it for, how can you not have appreciation for it? He didn't need a stand, even though he had one once or twice. For me, at the end, like, I was like, dude, Gyro with the steel balls is like all you need. And then to the point that he tutored Johnny into using the power of the spin to enhance his stand. After I was crying in the beginning of the series talking about, yo, get rid of this, I want to see him with a stand. So then Johnny taking the power of the spin to power up his stand was just like the biggest smack in the face for me. Like, yo, what were you doing? What energy were you giving out in the beginning of the story? Why were you even so concerned with this? Because look how awesome this power system was. I had to give Araki time to show what he was trying to do with everything he was introducing that was new in Steel Ball Run. Once I did that, man, it was off to the races. The way they told themselves secrets right before they rushed funny towards the end of the story. And then right before they went to take off, he was like, yo, yeah, don't tell nobody my secret. Don't tell nobody. I'll haunt you. So many cherishable, funny moments from this character. How can you not like him? How can you not have Gyro in your top 5? He was never any one type of character, and I think that's what made him amazing. Just so many different characters into one, just because for the majority of the story, we only followed 2 characters. So they both had to give us a good amount of everything that we would get from a whole cast of characters. Usually, he had some of the most fun opening dialogue between those first few chapters ever, especially when he was like, yo, listen, I'm not a good guy. Like, don't look at me like I ain't gonna kill you, because I will fuck you up. I mean, Araki put grills in this guy's mouth. Gyro has grills. When I first seen him smile at the ticket booth, I was just like, yo, but my guy, like, you're made for me, man. Like, this is, well, pause.
What the hell is even that?
But, like, for real, like, you're my favorite character ever now. Just off of that. Just off of the way he was dressed, the fashionable choices that he made, I was just like, yo, this is the man. Trying to understand his relationship with his dad, especially since his bloodline carried a certain weight with it. And how Gyro took that responsibility and made it his own. Didn't follow in his dad's footsteps. He took it and made it Gyro's. His dad would never have took a steel ball and used it to have sex with one of the patients and then used it to give her some plastic surgery that only lasted for a few weeks, but still nonetheless, he's like, yo, you want some boobs? I got you. You know, spun the ball on her chest. Like, who thinks of this? But also, Gyro, you're a monster. You're a monster, and I love it. Like, this is awesome. Gyro's interactions with Hot Pants is some of my favorite of JoJo's, when he's like yelling at Johnny to yell at Hot Pants. But Hot Pants can hear him talk anyway, so he's like, Johnny, tell him to shut the fuck up. And Johnny's like, you tell him to shut the fuck up. He's like, yo, shut the fuck up. I mean, like, bro, who writes this stuff? Like, Araki is a genius, but Gyro and Johnny, they just played it off tremendously well. I mean, 10 out of 10. There's so many moments to pick from. I really can't do it. And honestly, I need to sit down and sit back and actually get to that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure overview that I've been meaning to do. I've actually had it written down on my notes for like 2-3 months now already, probably longer, honestly. But I just feel like, man, like, I want to do it so well, but also at times I'm just like, yo, just do it and put it out. It doesn't need to be like so articulated and detailed. But then I'm like, this series deserves that. It deserves to be articulated, like, because the series was so good. Part 7, Steel Ball Run, was amazing to me. I love my JoJo's. I love my JoJo's. And you would be surprised because, like, I don't talk about it much on the channel at all. I do mention it here and there if you do pay attention, but, like, I have never dedicated a video to it till now. But JoJo's is, like, top 5 to me. Maybe top 3. You know what I'm talking about? It has to be. It has to be. I'm really getting myself hyped to talk about JoJo on the channel more. Tell me what you guys think. I definitely should talk about JoJo's. We definitely should get in some dialect about JoJo's on this channel here, because it's just too good. All in all, for me, Gyro Zeppeli from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run is a top 2 main character that isn't a main character ever. Ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. And I'm looking forward to hearing who you guys pick. And if you know about, Steel Ball Run, if you read it, let me know. Do you agree with me? Because I agree with me. Anyways, I'm Valentine. I'm checking out of here. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, the dislike button if you didn't like my pick. That's sketchy if you don't. I don't trust you if you don't. And hit the bell notification for more videos like this right here. Thank you as always. Appreciate you. I'm getting out of here. Later.